coverage of this final pre-season friend fixture between the Cherry and Whites and Newport Gwent Dragons. It's a fairly cool evening, but delighted to say I'm joined by Gloucester players Paddy McAllister and Tom Marshall. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Good evening.
Paddy, it's fresh up here this evening, but what can we...
It was definitely a shock to the system for a lot of the boys after a big pre-season, but you know we travelled all the way to Belfast and not many teams win there. I know it was pre-season, but the boys pulled a few things together and managed to get a win, and another week's training under the belt with another game before the season starts. We should see a lot less mistakes, a lot more execution, and hopefully some good rugby being played.
Is that what you're looking forward to, Tom, a refinement of the performance last weekend?
Yeah, I think so. I think individually it's a chance for players to put their hand up for selection. It's our last real hit out before the season starts, so it's the last chance for players to say, I'm the man for the job this year.
It is a decent crowd here at Kingsholm. Hard to estimate the numbers, but it's a solid number opposite us in the shed. We're at the top in the gantry of the main grandstand, right on halfway. Unless you suffer from a vertigo, it's a great place to be. The showers seem to have passed by, which is encouraging. Looking to the west, there's a clear sky as the sun starts to set. Let's give you the starting lineups, both sides with very large squads predictably this evening. By my reckoning, guys, only one player on the Gloucester team sheet starts from last weekend, and that might be Ollie Thorley. I think the rest are changes, but most of those guys who started this evening did get some sort of run out last weekend, Paddy.
Yeah, I mean, last week we had two teams of 15, and the second team got about 30 minutes. And this week I think that second team are going to get the majority of game minutes tonight, just so everyone kind of gets the same amount of minutes under their belt before the pre-season or before the real season starts.
Gloucester with 32 on our sheet, Dragons with 20 now, and they seem to be playing the same sort of game, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. I think you got to give everyone a bit of a run. It's a good opportunity to get some combinations together and have a closer look at your players for the season starts.
Well, let's start by giving our viewers, our listeners, the team sheets in front of us. They are big, as we've already suggested. Gloucester then have Jason Woodward at fullback, Matt Banahan and Ollie Thorley are the wingers, Billy Tweltrees and Henry Trender are Gloucester's centre pairing. Half-backs, it's good to see Danny Cipriani out there. I'm sure he can't wait to get involved in some rugby proper alongside skipper Willie Hines. Up front it's Josh Honeck, James Hanson and Fraser Balmain, a Kiwi, an Aussie and an Englishman of course. The second row pairing, Ed Slater, Mariano Galazza, and Gloucester's back row, Ruin Ackerman, Lewis Ludlow and Ben Morgan. That's Gloucester's starting 15. On the Cherry and White bench with numbers, Franco Marais, Alex Saville and Kieran Knight. Gerbant Robler and Jake Pelledri provide the forward cover. Ben Vellicott, Lloyd Evans and Henry Purdy are Gloucester's back replacement. There's a posse of others too. Those other players will get some game time, I'm sure, this evening. Todd Gleave, Freddie Clark, Will Save, Gareth Evans provide further forward cover. Callum Brayley, Owen Williams, Mark Atkinson, Charlie Sharples and Tom Hudson are the remaining back replacements. It's a big squad there Gloucester got available. Of course, some of you guys also still not right to play, but it's an encouraging looking squad.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want, I think. Us taking the step up into the Champions Cup this year, we're going to need depth in all areas of the field, and I think we've got one of the strongest squads I've certainly seen since I've been here.
Get Paddy's view on Dragons in a moment, we'll give their line up first, but talking to one of their officials, they're concerned. They think they got the smallest squad in the Welsh regions, and it's a squad that's having to be developed. It's nowhere near what they want to be. They have brought in players, of course, some of them familiar to us, and tonight they start with Jordan Williams at fullback, David Howells and Halamanos, the two wingers. Tyler Morgan is partnered by the one change from what the side we anticipated by Jared Sage at centre, Sage at 12, Tyler Morgan at 13. The Dragons halfbacks, Rodri Williams and Josh Lewis, Williams at 9, Lewis at 10 of course. Up front it's Ryan Bellington and Leon Brown, that promising prop. Between them, Richard Hibbard, formerly of this parish. The second row pair, new signing Brandon Nansen, the South African, with skipper Corey Hill. And the Dragons back row, Hugh Taylor, Aaron Wainwright and Lewis Evans. Here come the visitors wearing their traditional red and black strip, led out by skipper Corey Hill, followed by the long-haired, ponytailed Richard Hibbard. The visitors bench, Elliot D, Brock Harris, Lloyd Fairbrother, Joe Davis, Nick Cudd, Tavis Noel, of course, played a season here at Gloucester, Gavin Henson, the evergreen Gavin Henson, and Tian Lutz are the anticipated replacements. That's the 23. But it's further numbers to bolster there. Matthew Screech, James Benjamin, Adam Warren, George Gasson, George Goodchild and Will Talbot Davis. Our referee is Tom Foley. What do you make of Dragons? They were second, I think, from bottom last season, Paddy, in the Pro 14. They clearly are a region trying to rebuild.
Yeah, definitely. I think last year was Bernard Jackman's first year in charge. It's always difficult your first year, with the squad that you've inherited to kind of work your way up that league ladder. But he's definitely recruited well this year. Some old people that have played not old people. Richard Hibbard, you will forgive me for saying that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
People with a lot of experience, been in a lot of big teams. Him and Gavin Hempston obviously show a lot of leadership. They've got a young, talented squad, especially their tight head Leon Brown's already been capped by Wales. There's a lot of promise on him. So they've got that mix of youth and experience, which hopefully this year will prove better in the league.
You hear the roar as Gloucester come out now. They've kept their guests waiting for a long time. And here comes that roar, led out by skipper Willie Hines, the rest of the Gloucester team. And goodness me, James Hanson's grown his hair during the summer. He's looking a bit longer haired. That's Sir Josh O'Nick rather out there. And the rest of the Gloucester squad following. This pitch, Tom, looks an absolute treat. The real test will be in the winter, but it does look great, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Bear in mind we've not played a match on it yet, but it looks absolutely superb, and I'm sure all the boys are very excited to get out there.
So here we go, Gloucester's final warm-up fixture before the Gallagher Premiership season starts. A week on Saturday, of course, against Northampton Saints here at Kingsholm. And you're listening or watching on Gloucester Rugby Television here. I'm Andrew Pugh with Paddy McAllister and Tom Marshall. The Dragons, of course, as you can see, playing from right to left. And they will have the sun in their eyes, gentlemen, as fly half Josh Lewis gets the game underway. Ackerman gets his shoulder down into the tackle inside the 22 there. Hines, patient, puts the ball up in the air, one to be pursued down there. Ollie Thorley with the chase, but the ball ricocheting off Jordan Williams and gives Thorley a chance to pursue that downfield, but Dragons do well. Rodri Williams to skipper Hill, shoulder down. Williams. Here's Hibbard into the tackle, he goes, and the ball's spilt forward. Was that Fraser Balmain with that defensive work? We'll get confirmation shortly. And Thorley sets on a little rumble, absolutely clattered by Hibbard.
Welcome back, Rich. Big pass by
floated
Cipriani
ball
there.
out, wasn't it? That was a nice floated ball out. Now Trinder through the hands to Matt Banhan. Hines, Cipriani again. Honick. Hines again. Cipriani, 12 trees.
Lovely.
That's a lovely ball. That was a shame, wasn't it, gents? That was a shame as James Hanson knocks it on. I pity that.
Yeah, it's great shape though. I mean, started off a great box kick from Willie Hines, great pressure from Ollie Thorley. Obviously, Richard Hibbard got hit by his old roommate Fraser Balmain there and not forced the ball on, but the shape's there, so just hopefully a few less mistakes.
Already we're seeing that crisp passing we expect from Danny Cipriani, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just on that occasion, it could be a little bit of signs of the early rain that we had about half an hour ago. Could be a little bit slippery out there, but no, it's a positive start.
So Gloucester playing a bit of rugby early on here at Kingsholm. Just a couple of minutes played so far, and Tom Foley in close attention this first scrummage. Paddy McAllister focusing on this one, so he gets the early edge. There's a lot of movement there, Paddy.
Yeah, it's always a lot of movement in the first few scrums. It's a good solid scrum.
Solid. Off the back from number 8 Evans. Williams works the blind side to his namesake. That's a good run from Jordan Williams towards the 22. Rodri Williams. Long back line it will come to Brown. Brown held up again by the physical work of Holnick. A chance for Sage now. Late entry into the starting lineup. Rodri Williams, was that a tad forward, I wonder? It was a flat looking ball, Tom.
Yeah, it was marginal that one, wasn't it? Play on's the call.
Williams again through the hands and got very quickly. It's Banahan doing some good work and a chance to 12 trees kick.
There's a reservoir down there in their 22.
Shame that Banahan was tied up in the earlier action there, because there was an opportunity had somebody been in close attention to that kick. Now this might roll on this surface, Tom.
Yeah, you can see it skidding off the top there, so definitely a little bit slippery out there.
Hines just to ease some of that pressure, and his namesake
Great
Can't
kick.
keep it in play. That was a good clearance.
That's a great kick. There's nothing wrong with his calves anymore.
Interesting start. So these sort of friendly games, people are still working it out, aren't they? Getting the relationship sorted, new players coming in, going.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, new fly half in the former Cipriani, different combinations out there. So it takes a wee while to get the combinations right.
Lots to get line out ball, and a chance now for the Cherry Whites to construct something, and that pass was just a bit too crisp for Jason Woodward. And can Banahan do the defensive work? He goes to ground. 12 trees there too for Gloucester, doing very well.
Oh, it looks very slippy ball in hand there, so
It does, doesn't it?
hopefully it'll dry up soon.
Cipriani again, Galazza, soft hand offload to Hansen. And Willie Hines protesting. Tom Foley perhaps suggesting the ball should have been played at the breakdown there, Tom Marshall.
Yeah, it's just a little bit sloppy at the breakdown from Gloucester there. They managed to get over the ball there, and fair enough penalty, I think.
We're just about 4.5 minutes played. There's been plenty of action so far in this game. Gloucester probably had more possession, but territorially maybe contained more, Paddy.
Yeah, definitely. I think both teams definitely have showed that they're here to play, so ball in hand a wee bit more from both teams, and then hopefully we can see some big runs happening.
Josh Lewis then with a kick to the corner, formerly with Bath, a 26-year-old. That's the Tidville boy.
This will be a big one here. I think Johan Ackerman has been working us for about the last 3 months on our Maldi, so let's hopefully the boys stop them and don't let them score.
Will they read Richard Hibbard? On that occasion, goes to Skipper Hill. Secure ball. A chance for Gloucester's defence to be tested here as the Dragons try and apply the squeeze and the drive down that 5-metre channel. Once, says the referee, but they're persisting with it. Can Gloucester shepherd them towards the touchline is the question.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's great angles from Ben Morgan there. Mariano Galazza, you can see he's just waiting. If that turns a little bit towards the post, he'll
Williams,
hit that.
Sage on the dummy ran. Inside cut is made by Hallam Amos, but held up well by Gloucester. Applauded by the crowd here, they like it.
Great shot by Mariano there.
Now the new South African Nansen. No change yet. Gloucester's defence is solid, well organised. Picking and driving again they go. Williams to number 8, Lewis Evans. Now it will go out wide. A floated ball out from Morgan to Jordan Williams. He gets outside the tackle of Gloucester and he scores, and there's disappointment there from Ollie Thorley, but that was a good piece of acceleration and Gloucester paid the price. The squeeze was on this near side. Jordan Williams, he showed the threat in the build-up there, Tom Marshall. He's part of the build-up and ultimately finished it off.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good passage of play, to be fair. Gloucester found themselves a little bit tight. It was Thorley on this occasion, just a little bit tight. His opposite number, Jordan Williams, was able to get on the outside of him and he finished it off nicely.
Up front, though, the pack did good work on this near side, Paddy.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've been training to do. On the angles from the back end of the line out, push them, try and get them into touch. And if that doesn't work, as you can see there, the referee called one. They had to use it, shifted it out wide, and as Tom obviously said, it's unfortunate on that one-on-one tackle, but it's early stages.
Yes, he was clearly very disappointed. Winger Thorley, but plenty of chance to atone for that later on this game. It's presented a challenging conversion on that far side to Josh Lewis.
What do you reckon? Will he get it?
I'm not a betting man.
Watching him in the warm-up, he's slotting everything from the warm-up, so I'm going to say it's straight down the middle.
I'll bet you a couple of Uzis for that.
Here we go. There's a breeze up high. I don't think it's too noticeable out there, though. The trees are hardly moving in the distance. It's a positive strike. The shed tells everything, doesn't it?
Thanks, Tom Marshall.
0-5 it is then in Dragons' favour. And Gloucester will want a response pretty quick. They need some time down in Dragons' territory, don't they, gentlemen?
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they can reclaim the ball from the Dragons' exit and play a little bit of footy in their half.
That's a good start from Danny Cipriani. Good pursuit as well from Lewis Ludlow. And pressure on scrum half Williams forced a clearance which was pretty decent given the pressure he was under there. Hansen then for Gloucester. With the ball in hand, throws long ball quickly down, securely down. And the Cherry and Whites to Ed Slater. And there's a good move in midfield. It's Banahan in turn to Jason Woodward, it's a lovely run by Woodward, raised a couple of tackles, just brought to ground 7 metres out, but Tom Marshall spotted that looked like off the training ground, and that's a real shame the chain white's penalised again, I suspect, for not releasing Paddy.
No, that's unfortunate, as Tom was saying. That's unbelievable play. That's what we've been working on, and that final little bit there, maybe just a miss clean, but that run from Jason Woodward, everyone's surprised how we didn't get a cap in the summer.
Yeah, that looked like a training ground move.
Yeah, exactly. Straight off the training paddock, that one. Players in motions, different options. Everyone knowing their role and executing at the right time. It was just unfortunate that I thought maybe Woody potentially could have given that pass to Thorlo there, but he decided to hold on, and we just missed the clean out, which is a shame, but promising signs.
Absolutely, it's promising, and the execution almost deserved more, the build up to that. And this time, it's a free kick for the chain whites, closing the gap. Is that the indication there, Paddy?
Yep, it was closing the gap, so we'll go for the scrum here, which will be another good test.
Yeah.
Don't know, what do you reckon, Tom? What are we going to play off this scrum?
Decent blindside there if they want it.
Yeah.
All is coming field.
Yeah, looks like Thorlo will be used as some kind of runner, potentially a dummy runner. We're not too sure exactly what they'll play. We'll have to wait and see.
10 minutes played at Kingsholm. Gloucester 0, Newport Gwent Dragons 5. It's Andrew Pugh joined by Paddy McAllister and Tom Marshall. We're trying to second guess what will be executed from this scrimmage on the 22 on that shed side. Options are plenty. Solid scrum. They just popped down, but it will be played, says the referee. Hines to 12 trees. Move back to Cipriani. Here's Thorley. And a burst of pace from him, brought to ground. Quickly in there is Ludlow. To the near side, the crowd saw something they didn't like. The referee says play on. So Cipriani again, a wide pass out, a beautiful ball, and a lovely try from Banahan. That's what Danny Cipriani can do. That slightly delayed pass Matt Banahan put in. The crowd enjoyed that. We enjoyed that. It's 5 apiece here at Kingsholm. 10 minutes played. Paddy McAllister and then Tom Marshall. What do you make of that? That was sweet.
That was a beauty. I mean, obviously Danny Cipriani pulling strings there, but he wouldn't be able to do that without those quick clean outs and those rucks. I mean, that ball was superb for Willie Hines. Just arrived, get that ball out, and once you do that, hardly any not many defences can defend that.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely team try, and well taken in the end by Matt Banahan.
Yeah, the clean out was so much swifter there, wasn't it? I spotted Ludlow up there very quickly, but others were involved too, and that enabled the quick ball to come to this near side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in one of those carries, Red Slater, Ruan Ackerman just right on his shoulder, driving him through the contact, giving that extra yard, which just means defence have to work that extra harder around him. And then that's what just happens, that mismatch. And Matt Banahan, I'm sure, is going to score many more like that in the season to come.
We look forward to it, gentlemen. We look forward to it. So, murmur of satisfaction goes around the ground, I think, after that. I wouldn't say there was concern amongst the crowd, but they wanted the response, and they certainly got it. Now can 12 Trees add the extra 2 points? Here he comes now. Again, a challenging kick. He's nailed that one beautifully. Applause from Tom Marshall.
Yeah, he doesn't miss many, old Billy 12 Trees. There's a lovely kick. Doesn't get harder than that. Right from the sideline.
Here we go then. Perhaps that will signal a change in fortunes in terms of territorial advantage. Dragons may have thought they could have got more from their opening few minutes, but let's see what Gloucester can do from this restart. Switch play, Lewis to that far side, and fielded well by Ackerman, shoulder down as ever into the tackle. Ludlow, Cipriani, this is crisp. Strinder, quick hands again. Gloucester making good progress downfield. They kept the ball well in play. Jason Woodward took a bit of a bash there. He's hobbling slightly on the touchline. Play continues. Infield. Hines, Cipriani again. 12 Trees, a dummy. Not taken by Richard Hibbard. Is over the ball very quickly. Hines again. Cipriani, Ludlow. Quick hands back and a half dummy from Trinder this time. Hines. Soft hands from Slater to forward support. Hines again. Here is that magician Cipriani, but this time that was very well read in midfield by centre Jared Sage, and Gloucester driven back.
Tackle that.
Still, Gloucester retain possession. They lead 7-5 here at Kingsholm. Hines, Cipriani, a dummy, an outrageous dummy to Banahan on his shoulder. using all that physicality we know he possesses. Gloucester with possession again. Slower ball this time for Willie Hines.
Yeah, looking for a big chase here.
Maybe wanted a bit more on that. But Williams is there and drops it as Trinder approached.
We'll take
and he'll get the bird from the crowd here.
Yeah.
What do you make of that passage of play, Paddy?
No, that was good play. I think we exhausted them in defence, tried our best at every way, and sometimes when it's not working, just stick it up there, put a bit of pressure on them, and then get a good result like this.
Right option to kick there from Willie Hines, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely. As you saw, we tried a couple of times to run, which I really like our first mindset, to attack a little bit of space. We didn't get too far, so we chucked the kick up, put a little bit of pressure on, and forced them to make an error.
Okay, well, Matt Banahan's come in field again behind this scrum. Again, that blind side is decent. And that's a pretty solid scrum there, I suggest. Controlled well at the back by Ben Morgan. Now there's a bit of a drive coming on. What happened there to Paddy?
No, I just think it was a little bit messy, a little bit crooked. And yeah, it was probably the right call. I mean, we could have played that, but I think we felt we probably had a little bit there to go forward, try to get a penalty, but the referee decided to pull it up for a reset.
We'll try and do it all over again.
We can't blame the pitch anymore, can we?
We can't, no. This is very true. And given the sort of rugby Gloucester appear to want to play, this pitch should be well suited to it.
Yeah, it's just what the doctor ordered, I think. Last year the boys trying to play a little bit of running rugby on heavy footing didn't make it easy, so I think everyone's pretty excited about giving it a good crack this year.
Let's see what they can do from here. Gloucester get a decent ball. They've gone down on this near side. And gives a chance for Willie Hines to have a conversation with Matt Banahan. How are you progressing, guys, with your own situations, Tom?
Injury-wise? Yeah, not too far away. I've just had a little bit of trouble with my hamstring tendon, but back running, haven't quite got up to 100% speed yet, but hopefully progress into that next week and hopefully be back out with the boys in the next couple of weeks or so.
Get on some full contact stuff afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just building up, but not too long term, which is good.
Paddy, how you doing?
Yeah, kind of similar to Tom. Hamstring issues. I think pre-season push your body to the absolute maximum, and some people just pull up with small niggles and stuff. So the trick is not to really rush it and make sure you come back well.
One for Banahan to chase off the boot of Hines. It's bobbling uncomfortably, and Jordan Williams played that into touch, which is just what Gloucester's skipper would have wanted.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a low risk, high percentage play. That's exactly the outcome we're after, and our ball inside the 22. So we'll see what the forwards can rumble up.
Yeah, indeed. This is promising, isn't it?
Wouldn't mind a driving maul try from here, would you?
That's a forward speaking. But Gloucester lost possession, and Corey Hill did a captain's job there for his side. That charge down kick is uncomfortable. Somebody needs to be alert, and there's danger for Gloucester here because Lewis is hacked it forward, but cover is being provided there by Gloucester. And a nice little block by Banahan there, giving Gloucester a few more seconds to clear the danger. Still retaining possession close to this near touchline, but they've done pretty well there. Gloucester for the Cherry and Whites. And Willie Hines will play the ball to Cipriani in front of his own post. One crossfield kicks coming. What's this all about? He's seen an opportunity there. Almost came off. That's an uncomfortable collision out there. And here goes Thorley. Thorley's trying to atone for that missed tackle. Hines, Cipriani again. A wider ball to Gloucester in a bit of space. Get those long legs going. All 6'8" of him. Held up on the halfway line though. Cipriani again to Ludlow. That's a big collision. Lewis Ludlow would have felt that. Be straight back on his feet and has Banahan in space. Banahan support from Jason Woodward, and Jason Woodward will score on this near side for Gloucester. Well constructed. Gloucester seemed to lose the advantage half a minute ago, but they worked their way well downfield, and Jason Woodward scores Gloucester's second try here then at Kingsholm. 18 minutes played and a conversion to come. It's Gloucester 12, Newport Gwent Dragons 5. Paddy first and then Tom.
Yeah, I think, looking at there, we got a lot of luxury in our back three. Goes from Tom, Danny Cipriani with a kick, probably not the best outcome in terms of ball to hand. Ollie Thorley picks it up, makes a run, comes all the way back to this swing, and Matt Banahan finishes off with Jason Woodward. And obviously, we've got Tom Marshall here to come back, so we've got a lot of depth in that position.
Okay, it's well constructed, wasn't it, after Gloucester appeared to lose the advantage, Tom?
Yeah, I think it was reward for a good positive mindset. We went for the crossfield option, which is obviously high risk, and initially it didn't look like it was the best option, but we got a favourable bounce, and then rather than just kicking it again, we kept our composure, played a few phases, and we managed to obviously find space on the edge.
Yep, and it's Groundhog Day with that conversion position right beneath us is Billy 12 Trees. He's had a marker already successfully. Can he make it? 14-5. A little bit of a breeze here at Kingston as 12 Trees comes forward now, and goodness me, he's done it again. Unerringly accurate, so calm over the ball as well.
Yeah, he's an absolute pleasure to watch. I enjoy watching him after training. He's very tedious about what he does, and he's one of the best kickers in the comp, I think.
Is he like that with a golf club as well?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I stay well away from that sort of stuff.
14-5 then it is. 2 converted tries from the Cherry and Whites, and that's too long from Lewis, and it goes from bad to worse, and that's not what your pack wants to see, Paddy.
Oh, that's exactly what we want to see, right in the middle of the scrum, or a scrum right in the middle of the pitch, put more pressure on them, hopefully scrum goes our way, let the backs do something magical and score another try.
Yeah, absolutely. But slightly deflating for Dragons though.
Yeah, definitely. You never really say it on the pitch, but I'm sure after they'll be looking at their goal kicker after the game going, what the heck are you doing there? Yeah.
I have to say good evening to Billy Burns. We understand he's watching this coverage from Gloucester Rugby television over in the north of Ireland this evening.
Me and Bill cut from the same cloth. He's a good lad, obviously going to chase his dream playing for Ireland. Wish him all the best when we got caught up with him last week, so it was good to see him. Yeah, good to see him out there in action, and shame he took a bit of a knock towards the end of the game. Yeah, I think he's fine. Good. Great position for Gloucester here, Tom. Options both ways.
Yeah, exactly. You see they're scooting off to the left there and find a little bit of space.
Oh, again, that floated ball out from Cipriani. Puts Thorley in space, and it's just a shame the offload didn't go down. But footballing skills here from Gloucester's player. Is he going to score? He is going to score! Goodness me, he didn't give him a push, though, says Paddy McAllister, and the referee agrees.
I don't believe that. I think the ref must have been reading the headlines this week. Didn't give him that.
Oh, that was a shame. That was a shame. And a roar was coming, wasn't it then? But that died away pretty quickly.
Yeah, as you can just see there again, Danny Cipriani taking the ball to the line, making the right decision at the right time, and obviously he's a little bit unlucky not to get a little bit of icing on the cake there.
The way he delays his pass, and he just creates that space at the same time, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's truly good to watch.
It's a back's dream and a forward's nightmare, because you don't know when he's going to give the ball to you, but you have to expect it at all stages.
That's a great line, Paddy. It's got to get line out ball. Here's a chance for Ben Morgan to bully his way over the 10-metre line. He's trying to do just that. Hines, Balmain. Ricochet off Hugh Taylor's tackle. Hines shaping to it that blind side again. To Morgan, a wide block to Ludlow, parries it on to Thorley. And Thorley again finding a bit of space but none seem to exist. And Gloucester's strength up front showing again. This is purposeful. Cipriani, did he look when he passed up to 12 Trees? He found his man though, but the ball doesn't come Henry Trinder's way, and chance for the visitors to strike their way forward to Tyler Morgan. Morgan doing well. Lewis again, quick offload, hands to Taylor. And now here's Williams again, he's dangerous, he scored a try already, the fullback. And soccer skills are employed by the covering Banahan, but still the Dragons have it. Back to Lewis. Corey Hill's footballing skills let him down in turn, and back will go, says referee Tom Foley, for no advantage on that far side.
Jordan Williams is pretty quick, isn't he?
He's nifty, isn't he?
Yeah.
Already capped by Wales. Of course, spent some time at Bristol as well. Only 24 as well, so plenty of time for his career to further develop.
Yeah, too right. He's definitely looking sharp tonight.
Involved in his own try early on. That was back in the 7th minute, of course, long time ago, with 17 and a half minutes remaining. Pretty satisfactory for Gloucester, I should think. You'd agree, gentlemen, so far. That 14-5 lead. The crowd wants to see more, but their shape seems to be coming along nicely.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing as well. You know, the shape's there. We've got the right people in the right places making the right decisions. So obviously, as I alluded to before, it's very slippery out there. You've seen the ball when that pitch is played look like a bar of soap. So if we can just hold on to that ball a little bit more, then I'm sure more points will follow.
Of course, Gloucester's first game, season's opener, is against Saints next week. Tickets are still available and start from just £23 for adults and £12 for juniors. There's also, of course, an offer where you can buy the first 3-ticket bundle and watch the first 3 Gallagher games for less. You can visit Gloucester Rugby for more information on that. And club memberships, they're also still available for 2 more weeks, starting from just £212 for adults and £48 for juniors. Dragon scrum then, just outside the 22 on that far side. They're trailing 14-5, and we've got 17 minutes remaining in this first half. And was that going early?
No, it's a little bit of pressure there from Dragons a bit early. It looks like Richard Hibbard probably put on a wee bit of weight and he's just can't hold himself.
Offload to Ben Morgan. Hines again. 12 trees first receiver this time. That delay pass to Cipriani, and again how he got that ball through, how he threaded that ball to Banahan. It's just unbelievable in such a tight space.
That was a great play, that.
Just didn't quite come up. I guess that will come with time, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Early days, boys still getting combinations, but as we've said, it's looking good at this stage.
Dragons thought they were unlucky to lose by such a big margin in their game against Saints last time out. 2 intercepted tries, and then they took off their first teamers, which led to Saints beating our visitors today by 10 points to 42. Promising drive down this channel here. Galatson, a bit of an arm wrestle in the middle of it. Back it goes to Hines, the ball up in the air. But that's going to sail out, and he'll be slightly disappointed by that. He's frustrated by that, skipper Willie Hines.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, Hines. He'll get them 9 times out of 10. So, it's unfortunate.
Is that breeze strengthening out there, Paddy? Just looking at the touch judge's flag, maybe we're sheltered up here.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks like it. I think it's getting a little bit colder as well, so lineouts are going to get a bit more difficult for both teams.
Quick ball off the back to Hugh Taylor, and now his centre Sage trying to work his way downfield. Rodri Williams, Lewis. Solid defence from Gloucester. Gloucester there first, then Ben Morgan with support. Then the ball knocked on by Hugh Taylor. He may have looked up, spilled it forward, and that's an unforced error and gives Gloucester a chance to build something.
That was great defence by Ben Morgan. Obviously, as a defensive line, when you rush up together as one, if you've got a defender cutting back inside, you want those inside defenders up nice and high with you and stops those inside threats. So he did well, and unfortunately, though, it was a knock on.
Yeah. Decent enough crowd for a Thursday evening here at Kingsholm. Chilly Thursday. We've been sport bar this summer, haven't we?
Yeah, I think the old Gloucester faithful have missed the rugby. The shed's in good noise, so it's good signs.
Indeed it is. I'm sure I've made people here interested in seeing the players as the surface they're playing on here, and the expectation with this developed squad that Ewan Ackerman with David Humphreys have built over the course of the summer. Let's see what they can construct from this position. 14 and a half minutes remaining in the first half. 14-5 Gloucester lead. Those 2 tries from Matt Banhern and Jason Woodward, countered by the earlier score from Jordan Williams. Quick penalty for Gloucester. The offload is quick. Jason Woodward, as the tackle comes in, can't quite find Matt Banhern. But again, the intention is quite clear. Let's move the ball through their hands. Let's let the ball do the work. Let's play some rugby. Hibbard to throw then. Sweep ball down to Rodri Williams. No, to Sage. Oh, brutal tackle.
Was that Danny Cipriani?
No, that was Ruan Ackerman, wasn't it?
Was it Ruan Ackerman?
A chance for Amos here. Amos, can he find support on that far side? Well, the support was there, but the pass was knocked on. But that was a crunching tackle.
That was a crunching hit, yeah. And said Danny will probably claim that tackle, but you said it was Ruan, so.
I think it was Ruan.
Yeah, Ruan down low. I think Danny might have
touched him
up high.
This is a big scrum here. Obviously, the last 3 scrums, 2 free kicks to Gloucester and a penalty. So Dragons need to hold their weight, not give anything to the ref, show that they want to scrum really well. So it'll be interesting to see how this works, because it's a perfect opportunity right now for Gloucester to play.
There's a big conversation there between Willie Hines, Danny Cipriani and Billy Twelvetrees. What do you think that was all about, Tom?
Yeah, I think it's probably whether to exit out our own half with a kick or potentially run. So they'll be getting a feel of the game, of how it's going, and what I'm sure they'll look to make the right decision here.
Well, it's a clean strike. It's controlled at the back by Ben Morgan. Thought he's gone back to his wing. Morgan to Hines. To Cipriani. Oh, that didn't quite come off. And Jason Wood nudged that forward. No, the referee says play on. And he's done well. Hines. 12 trees. Again, that wide ball out. That's lovely to Thorley. What can he do? Evades one tackle. What Hibbard's there. Shepherds him nicely to ground. Gloucester. That was a tight offload, wasn't it, to Honeck? And then Gloucester infringe again at the breakdown. Tom Foley's hot on that. Tom.
Yeah, and he's looking very good. If you see the plays continued on.
Yeah, Rodri Williams involved, and then Ryan Bevington in turn. Pressure on Gloucester, who lead 14-5. Williams to flanker Wainwright, who switched from 6 to 7 tonight. And a good carry forward by Brandon Nansen, who is Samoan cap. I called him a South African earlier. My apologies to Dragon supporters viewing tonight. Their side has the ball on Gloucester's 22 on that far side. Williams, as Ludlow comes up and blocks his passageway, but Gloucester penalised for offside. I guess that might have been Lewis Ludlow, who's been pinged by the referee.
I reckon that's unlucky. I reckon there was a bit scrappy in the back of that ruck. Lewis came up when the scrum half had his hands on it, then he took his hands off. So, but obviously the ref's always right, so don't say anything and just walk back.
You have got to read the ref, haven't you? You seem astonished that they're going for a penalty, Tom.
Yeah, quite surprising to be honest, but no, fair enough.
Yeah, a game like this pre-season, you might have thought they'd want to do more with the ball.
Yeah, I thought they would have had a go on the corner there, but obviously they might be treating it like it is their first proper hit out and trying to win the game by any means possible, I suppose.
Indeed, they play Benetton Treviso. It's just called Benetton these days. In their opening fixture in the Pro 14, that's a home game for the Dragons on the 1st of September. Gloucester here against Northampton Saints, of course. And who's that on the ground getting some treatment down there?
Ed Slater.
Oh, yes, so it is. This should be a regulation 3-pointer then for Josh Lewis. No more than 24 metres out, head onto the post. That breeze seems to have dropped a tad. Comes forward and he's worried about that. He needs to be worried. He's missed it, and Paddy McAllister looks surprised, and understandably so.
Yeah, I reckon Big Gav Henson needs to come on the pitch and take a few boots like the old days.
Hoping to catch up with Stephen Vaughan, Gloucester's chief executive, during the half-time interval. But we'll bring you the remaining 10 minutes of first half coverage here, of course, on Gloucester Rugby Television, as Danny Cipriani drills a low ball downfield. And opposite number Lewis will field that one inside his 22. Lewis, that's a net gain in ground for Gloucester, isn't it? And again, that's the astuteness of Cipriani.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want. Gone from a 22 to our ball right inside, deep inside their half, and now the Dragons are on the back foot.
Do you expect Gloucester to bring a number of changes on at half-time interval, Paddy, given the size of the squad out here, or Ewan Ackerman wait for a while?
I'd say there might be a couple of boys change at half-time, 1 or 2, but I think the majority of the first half squad will go off for about 60 minutes, give them a good hit out, and then bring on everybody else. So I'd reckon about that 50-60 mark.
Tidy work from 12 trees, evading the tackle of Hibbard. Now here's Ludlow, head down, burrowing along the ground, Scott Lawson style. Hines, Hansen, Cipriani. Nice angle cut by Ruan Ackerman, but indeed well read by the Welsh defence. And that's a powerful drive from flanker Wainwright to Gloucester again. The Argentinian involved in 2 passages of play in close order. Cipriani, a little dink forward. He's seen the gap, and Banahan, can he read it? Can't quite the advance, but then it's spilled forward in turn by fly half Lewis. Free play for Gloucester. Balmain gets those legs pumping.
Oh, look at the big man go.
That. The crowd's enjoying it too, and why not?
He's waited 2 years to show the boys what he can do.
Banahan playing like a back row forward in there.
I reckon the oxygen needs to come out now for Fraser Balmain. Give him a break.
Ed Slater playing scrum half. Thinks better of it. Paddy Hines to Honeck. Fairly static. Over him is old teammate Hibbard. Hines again to Ludlow in space. Tries to work his way through a brace of Dragons defenders there. Now, what can Cipriani do this time? Again, that's that sort of confusion. It'll come in time, won't it? Just a misread there, perhaps. tight quarters.
Yeah, exactly. It's tight quarters, and as I said, slippery ball. So I think it's just getting our timing right. Players getting used to running off Cipriani. He's a 10 that likes to take the ball to the line, pump it a few times. So it's just expecting the ball in their hands. As Paddy said before, the forwards aren't too sure if they're going to get the ball, but they've got to expect it every time.
Was that a line of yours, Paddy? I like to Baxter lighter forwards nightmare, Cipriani.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's come in from day one. He says, the style that we've kind of tried to play last year suits him down to a T, and he wants to expand on that. So he's given us the warning that we need to be aware at all times to just receive the ball, and it just doesn't happen on the pitch. We train it and train it and train it, and the fruits of our labour will hopefully pass on to here, and we'll score a lot of tries again. Might see some forwards scoring some big tries.
So he's demanding of the forwards that he is of the backs.
In a polite way, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's good to see him out there. I'm sure he's delighted to be playing some rugby after the week he's had. We're all pleased to see him out there. Big conversation between Tim Taylor there and Matt Banahan. I wonder what that's all about. Scrum will take place. 8 minutes 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 14-5 rather, Gloucester's advantage. Of course, that 11-minute try from Matt Banahan, converted by 12 trees, who also added the extras to Jason Woodward's touchdown in the 20th minute. Dragons' response, it was their opening score through Jordan Williams, who's looked tidy apart from one drop ball. And Gloucester put the squeeze on here. Paddy's watching. Solid though.
Oh, it's a good scrum. I think there was a lot of pressure for the Dragons to produce something good for the ref's eyes.
And a decent
and not a bad outcome
too.
there for Gloucester.
Indeed. They will have possession, of course, in front of the shed. Generally been full line-outs called so far. Haven't shortened too many from my recollection.
No, they're going well. Line-outs are going well. If it ain't fixed, don't try. If it ain't broken, don't try and fix it, they say.
Yeah, thankfully not the commentator's curse there. It's lost to get good ball off the back. Hines to Ben Morgan in space. Gets those legs pumping. Good drive, good carry, good power from Ben Morgan. Finally halted by Hugh Taylor. Cipriani near side. Quick ball in fine from Woodward to Lewis Ludlow. But tad forward, says the referee. Was that knocked on as he went to ground?
It was a great run from Ben Morgan there. Showing what he can do. Brings down 2 or 3 Dragons boys with him, making the yards.
Yeah, he wanted to get back into sort of form that brought him England recognition a few years ago, I'm sure.
Fun fact about Ben Morgan, he loves watermelons.
Is that right?
Addicted to them.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are they good for you?
You don't see a watermelon without Ben Morgan.
Full of nutrition, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, well, he hopes so.
So Gloucester scrum. Lost opportunity on this near side, put into the men in red and black. Newport Gwent Dragons, the regional sides. Well, the officials say to me the smallest squad in the Welsh regions. And Gloucester went early, says the referee. Too much. No.
I reckon that's fair enough. I reckon he pinged Dragons twice for a bit of an early shove. Gloucester looked like they were getting the strength there, but the ball wasn't in, so it's an error. Fair enough call that.
Well, that's not really a great kick there. It's given Gloucester time to field it. Banahan to Woodward. That hitch kick. Sandwiched by Sage and outside half Lewis. Gloucester needs support and he get him to ground quickly here. Ball will go down. Did the referee call maul? He did. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Yes, it was good defence by the Dragons on that occasion. I was a little bit worried when the ball just went straight down directly to the field to Woody, the danger man, but the Dragons done well to hold him up and to get possession inside their half.
Yeah, crucial, 2 men on him there.
Yeah, exactly. One high, one underneath, and good position. And I think they probably talked about that going into the game, so that it's good to see them execute some good pressure on defence.
Given the way those tackles are being interpreted now, the high man has to be so careful.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a fine line. I think you're seeing it in the championship, the nipple rule. So they're trialling that out in the championship this year and seeing how it goes, and they might look to bring it into the premiership next year as well.
Indeed. Used to happen a lot in rugby league, I seem to remember. Now it's real pressure here from Gloucester, but Dragons will have it. A horrible pass. Did that go forward? It may have gone forward, but Gloucester pinged for a scrummage infringement there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think it went down on the far side there. Not too sure what happened, but Fraser Balmain definitely had the upper hand on his side. And penalty to the Dragons.
4 minutes 46 seconds remaining in this first half. Still Gloucester with that 9-point advantage. They might have wanted a few more, I think, as they go into half-time break. And fly half Lewis is gone with almost a banana-style kick. Didn't look good off the boot, but it's pretty effective, Tom.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one was planned, but I'm sure he'll be happy with the outcome.
Yeah, seemed to swerve very low. And what Gloucester will not want now is to concede try. Richard Hibbard to throw. And referee's not happy. The gap being closed, I guess.
This is a big test for us forwards right now, so we've been working hard on this all pre-season, defending our line-out, opposition line-out maul. As you alluded to, 4 minutes to half-time. It's a great way now just to close off the half, stop them from getting the line-out maul. And there you go. A lot of good pressure from Ed Sitter in the back of the line out there, disrupts their ball, and now it's time to D-up.
Well, Thorley did a job there as well. He came in very quickly to halt any momentum from the Dragons, who are trying to re-establish that now through Skipper Hill. To the near side it will come to number 8, Lewis Evans. Lewis to Bevington. Again, it's solid defence by the Cherry and Whites. That's Slater getting out of the way. This time to Evans again on this near side. Trinder in with some defensive activity, and tidy ball picked up very well by Aaron Wainwright, who's impressed for his region and his country. Skipper Hill again, back to Jaman Williams, holds his pass up to Lewis Evans, but again that was just held up too long as Banahan came with a defensive activity for Gloucester. Williams to Hibbard, Ben Morgan on his own teammate. Would have enjoyed that moment.
Yeah, it's great defence from Gloucester there, driving them back slowly and slowly.
Well, they conceded, 15 metres or so, Dragons?
Just need to keep our discipline now, close out the half.
Was that
Another
forward?
great hit.
Was that forward to Brandon Nansen?
Great clean out there from our old friend Richard Hibbard.
Williams to his front row again with 2.5 minutes remaining. Can Gloucester hold out? Psychologically so important as we go into the half-time interval. Number 8 Evans is there again, and here's Sage trying to bully his way up the middle. Tackle from Ackerman this time to the near side. It's persistent from Dragons, and Lewis finds a bit of space and just weaves his way through a couple of tackles and dives underneath the covering. Willie Hines, who's taken a bash there, I think. And Gloucester will be very disappointed, guys, to concede that try to Josh Lewis after doing so well defensively.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was just thinking what a good passage of play that was from Gloucester, the defence. You know, they weren't committing too many numbers to the ruck, therefore they had lots of numbers on their feet. But at the same time, it was great pressure from the Dragons, good passage of play, lovely footwork, and in the end it was just a little bit of a one-on-one missed tackle and a well-taken try.
There was a bit of space on this near side, which Lewis exploited pretty well, Paddy.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of happened. I think, our back three were aware of that space. We're probably more nervous about that than what was inside them, and the boys, there was a bit of space left inside, so the Dragons exploited that very well, and that's what happens. Let's hope he doesn't miss this kick, because he's missed the last two. Nope.
No chance of that.
Yeah.
14 apiece. 14-12 it is then. 14-12, just that missed conversion earlier by Lewis, the difference. Of course, he also missed a penalty in front of the post, so he might be thinking they could be in front, Dragons. But a minute remaining for Gloucester to construct something here. Cipriani. Evans. Support from his back row. That provided by Hugh Taylor. Rodri Lewis, I'm sure Rodri Williams rather with one eye on the clock. 30 seconds remaining. Chip downfield, Woodward waiting. To Morgan on his shoulder. Morgan. Good tackle from Ryan Bevington. Hines frustrated there, will get the ball out. He looks to be okay after that, not to Galazza. Penalty to Gloucester, not rolling away, and Tom Foley's been hot on that all half, and I think being fairly consistent, Tom.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job, to be fair. He's been consistent with the way he's refereed the breakdown, and he's had a good first half. So
Gloucester with a legitimate line out to come, and the boot of Danny Cipriani have a line out, 12 metres from the Dragons line, and What supporters want to see is some points resulting from this position, Paddy.
Yeah, I reckon Danny was having a chat to Mariano, our line-out leader today. I reckon Mariano definitely wants to drive this ball, so we'll see how well our maul's going to go and test them.
Hansen to throw. Again, it's a full line out. Ball secured and then dropped. Did that go forward? Well, the referee says no. There was a man coming on the angle illegally there. Is that the call?
I'm not too sure what that was, but we'll take it anyway.
Indeed. It's an interesting arm gesture from the referee.
Yeah.
And Danny Cipriani says, I can have a line out after this, can't I, referee? And Tom Foley agrees.
And that's us just 5 meters
It's
out.
more like it, isn't it?
5 meters out, yeah, so will forwards be licking their lips.
Yeah, so you will be relishing this moment, Paddy, if you're out there.
This is the moment where Tom Marshall on the wing just gets cold and wishes he was inside and at half-time by now.
Stephen Vaughan's joining us shortly. He's up on the gantry with us, observing this. This time the ball is kept in the hand of Ruan Ackerman, and here comes that drive. Hansen has it at the back. Gloucester joining in. Banahan's in there too, landing his way. They just need to keep it in play, roll it round a little. They're working it hard. Galazzo's there. They're over the line. The try is confirmed. And Paddy McAllister has a contented nod.
That's a great try. The key was speed to the back, speed for the ball to get back to James Hansen at the back of the line out. Let the big boys do all the heavy work out in front. He just controls, sees where the angles are going, and there he is, just dotted line. Scores a great try for the forwards.
Yeah, the Australian gets the plaudits, but it was very much a pack effort, wasn't it, there? And I think Matt Banahan lended his weight to that effort too, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. As a back watching on, there's no better sight than seeing your pack dominating and getting over 5 metres out, so it's great.
Yeah, the timing was excellent. 19-12 now, Gloucester's advantage. That is time up on the clock.
Bit further out. Right
yes,
on the touchline.
Well, yeah, it's been a couple of metres, isn't it? It's an erring.
I reckon he's got it.
You reckon he's got it?
I reckon he's got it.
Again, I'm not a betting man, Paddy, but form would suggest. But again, won't say too much. Trees, looking at those tall posts here at Kingsholm. First tall ones were Ludovic Mercier when he was here, and then the Rugby World Cup. Here comes 12 Trees then. He's done it. He has done it. It's Gloucester 21, Newport Gwent's Dragons 12, and that's a fine way to end the first half, Tom Marshall.
Yep, I can't say I'm at all surprised about that kick going straight down the middle again, but no, it was a good way to finish the half. I think we needed to respond well, and we did.
And Paddy, your summary of the first half from a Gloucester perspective?
Yeah, I think it was great. I think we started very well in terms of our shape. The holes were there. A couple of drop balls, but I think that was the weather. It rained just before half-time, or just before the start of the game. It's dried up now. The wind's gone. So I think we'll be happy. We never be not happy winning 21-12 at half-time, and we'll take this into the second half.
What will be the message in the change room, do you think, Tom? What can Gloucester learn from that first half? What have they got to work on?
Yeah, I think there's probably two key areas where we let ourselves down. One was the breakdown. Obviously, we got turned over a couple of times, penalised there in the breakdown, and then just our accuracy with the ball in hand. Obviously, it's a slippery ball, and we dropped far too many balls. So I'm sure Johan will talk about that, and we just need the ability to build more phases, and then I'm sure the points will come off the back of that.
I guess this is what you want to get out of these friendly matches, Paddy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, big things. Set piece has been good. That's a key thing, because every team in the Prem, the set piece is strong, so we're getting that on the right level. And then other than that, as Tom alluded to, just accuracy and keep the ball in hand, build more phases, and see how far we can go in that sort of area.
Well, great stuff, gentlemen. Thanks, Tom and Paddy. More from you in the second half, where we've been joined now with Stephen Vaughan. Tom and Paddy are back for the second half period. Stephen, good evening to you. Nice to see you.
Andrew, hi.
And nice to see some rugby on the pitch, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. Been watching that pitch now for a few months, like a proud father. So it's nice to get the boys out on there and have a bit of a hit out.
Yeah, and just a little greasiness out there, the guys were saying during the first half coverage here on the Gloucester Rugby television. But it's been a very satisfactory end, hasn't it? That final try is so important.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, it's a good hit out. I was just having a chat actually to some of my staff downstairs. It's a pre-season game, and there's a number of bits around the stadium, whether it's checking out a new PA system or the Wi-Fi or the app or the pitch, and the players themselves as well. There's a number of times there today where we've seen things executed differently or better in training than they have there. They know it, we can see it, Newport aren't here just to make up the numbers, so they're quite a big group of guys. But I think it's good to get that pushover try just at the right time there, and hopefully we can get on and play a bit of rugby in the second half now. But I think it's been a good test, and this is what pre-season games are about, just trying things out and getting ready for the big one next week.
What Surrey fans sometimes do forget, the infrastructure behind the club, what's been going on. You've been investing a lot in that over the course of the summer, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting summer actually. We started off, I guess, with the rebrand straight after Bilbao. That took a lot of time, money and effort, and that's changed. If people come to the stadium today, and even more so at Northampton, they'll see the difference. The pitch, quite obviously, was a huge investment, so we can get the guys here training more on it. So next week, other than the game on Saturday, the boys will be training on it Thursday and Friday as well, so getting that familiarity and that home advantage even more than it is, or it has been. And then we're trialling the app with 500 users tonight, which is only going to get better for this season. It's got a load of really cool things that are going to be on there, such as at some stage, should we wish to do it, betting and bringing food and drink to people's seats, and ref link, and a million things on there. So that's going to be really good for everybody, and the whole Wi-Fi, new websites, and the PA system's a lot better as well than it's ever been, and the microphones. But we're going to test that for the next 3 or 4 weeks to get it exactly how we want to get it. So it's been a lot of work going on, and when what people don't see is even the daft bits, so tarmacking the areas around the stadium so it's flatter for our disabled supporters, wheelchair users, upgrading of different areas. It's a bit like painting the Forth Bridge, but we're all really, really pleased now to get some rugby going on, because it's felt like a long summer. Yeah, a few distractions the last week. We'll move on from those. Have you had a chance for a holiday yourself? No, not yet. No, can I count Jersey?
Just interesting watching the guys out there looking after this pitch. It clearly is a different sort of support, does it? After the game, before the game.
Yeah, it does actually. In fact, we've just we'll be announcing shortly. We've got a new groundsman coming. Actually, he's going to be working with Dave Barmer and the operations team. It absolutely needs more pairs of hands. You can't use big automated equipment on it. It's all pedestrian mowers. We have to be watered a lot more because of the drainage. So we've got 100 tons of sort of very quick draining sand, a new irrigation system, new drainage system on top of the surface. So you can see now there's a lot of work going on in at half time now. Straight after the game, any divots that are there will be put back into place. It will then be flattened, mowed. The guys will be here till 1 a.m. doing it. So it's taking us into a very different place than the old pitch. And the main reason for it, other than getting the community on there, getting the women's team on there, getting the boys training on there as well, is to support the way that we want to play rugby. Clearly Yarn wants a very fit team that can pass the ball and can play an expansive game, and you absolutely can't do that on the pitch that we used to have. So it's an investment in in the fine margins really to try and get some success on the pitch.
Indeed, obviously that's a test will come in the middle of winter.
Yep.
This near side under the lee of the main stands have been vulnerable to frost.
Correct.
Will this handle that better?
Yeah, it will. However, we've still had to have a bit of a kind of student session with Johan and David and the players to just say, look, the sun is a low sun in the winter. Whatever we do, it's still going to frost more this side than the other side. So if they're doing scrummaging and line out practice, do it on the other side. If you're doing little drills, do them on the other side, just to help us out here, because other than that we'd have to invest a large amount of money in the kind of solar panels effectively to go on the pitch. And we're as you know, we have to try and run as a sustainable business, and the company that we've been working with, County Turf, to bring the Hero hybrid grass in, have said that we absolutely don't need them if we treat it correctly. So we've had to have a little. We've got to learn how it works a bit. But I've turned into such a nerd. The grass is at 32 millimetres tonight, and we can tell you all about it, how it's been watered. But we're trying to build a no excuse culture here, and don't get me wrong, they'll find something else to moan about the players, but it's not the pitch at the moment.
You must be delighted the way season ticket sales have been going too.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I think, although we had a pretty poor end to the season in terms of the Bath and Saracens games, and then Bilbao, I'm not bitter, but I think, we might have had on a different night a couple of decisions go our way, but either way, the faith that the supporters have shown us has been wonderful. We've got to a place where we're selling more season tickets than we have for the last 5 years. Yes, we've got Champions Cup. We brought in some superstar names, the Banahans, the Ciprianis, the Mosterts, the Ruben Dreyers, Jaco Creels, etc., etc. So it's, I can honestly say this, and this is not wearing cherry and white tinted glasses, but it does feel different this year. There does feel to be a good optimism about the place. I'm sure there are 11 other clubs saying the same thing.
Yes,
but
it's that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I do feel that there's a bit of a buzz, and I think if we click, we've got a good chance of hopefully fulfilling some of the potential that we keep talking about.
And you reading newspapers, the quality papers, the rugby specialist writers, they're saying just that.
Yeah, they are, but they've said it before. I mean, my first year here, we had people thinking we were going to win the league, finish second, third. So genuinely, we don't pay too much attention to that. We know that last year, if we would have got our act together in a couple of games, we could have finished comfortably in the top four. This is not being disrespectful for the likes of Newcastle, but do I think Newcastle are better than Gloucester? Not especially. So, I do think there's probably one or two teams at the top there that will be difficult to topple. But I think from third downwards, it's anybody's competition, and why shouldn't it be us?
Good time to play Northampton. They were pretty sloppy last season, not very good.
But they're looking very strong in pre-season. But it's almost reminiscent of when I first started, and we had a load of new players, Laurie Fisher and David Humphreys in. They're almost in that position now, where we're a little bit more settled. So I would hope that gives us the edge. We're at home. It's our 5,000th game. We've got a load of former players coming to the game, to the walk around. We've got parachutists bringing the ball in. We've got all manner of things going on. So, there's a real call to anybody that's listening out there. Get yourself down here. We need it to be an absolute fortress this year. And starting off at Northampton, we need a really big performance from everybody.
And of course, being in the Champions Cup this coming season, that will generate more income for you. That must come at the right time, given the investment you had to put into the pitch and the like.
It has, yeah. I mean, we're very fortunate. We've got a fantastic owner at the club, Martin, who is very much about the team being successful. He knows the value of a pound, and that's exactly how it should be. And we do everything that we can to not jeopardise the club in the future, but to pay, as pretty much up there as much as any other club in the Premiership to bring success. The Champions Cup qualification will not get close to the investment that we put into the club this year. And we're at a point where we don't like losing money, but we know that we can get back onto an even keel should the success come on the pitch. We think we're a very good asset. And if we can get people coming through the doors, we can quickly turn all that around. Starting off at Northampton, as I say, sales are going very well for memberships. We've got the likes of Franco Mostert that'll be coming in after the Rugby Championship. Jaco Creel's out at the moment, but he's only a couple of weeks here. But when we get him fully up to speed as well, we're hoping that he'll make a big difference. Ruben Dreyer too. So we've got a very strong squad, but we got people to add to that. So Andrew, can I just take the liberty? I asked people earlier if they had any questions for me.
Of course,
and
yes.
Before the team come out, I've got 4 questions. I'll get them very quickly. So there's a guy called Jack Holland, a young lad who asked if anything's been improved this year for juniors. So Jack, if you're watching out there, yes, we've increased our age for kids to 17 from 15 from last year. Daytime games, we'll see a lot more happening as well in the fan zone. More face painting, inflatables, and also we're going to have a phenomenal new mascot, Kingsley, who's going to be with us in a few weeks as well. But question back to you, Jack. Really, you can get in touch with myself or the club. If you think we can do more, let us know what you think we can do as well, because we're trying our best, but I wouldn't say we get it right every time. So if you've got any ideas, send them through to us. And then secondly, Paul B sent in one asking, should the new cup competition be restricted to development teams, maybe players with fewer than 10 games or 10 caps under their belt? You're referring to the old Anglo-Welsh competition, Paul. I would say no, for a simple reason. We have to use it for a number of reasons. Injured players coming back into to things. Squads are getting better. You can have international second choice players at the moment, and even third choice, and those guys need to play. We will treat it as a development competition, but also at that time we have Hartpury, who we work with very closely, who need players, and we need players. So no, I don't think we're quite ready for that at the moment. Michelle, you asked me who should replace Alistair Cook in the top order of the England cricket team. I don't know. I don't really care too much for rugby. I was at the England Test match against India the other week, Edgbaston, but I think I dropped off after a couple of beers. So I'm sorry I can't answer that one.
Yeah, he's no longer called Gloucester-born Alistair Cook, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, Finn Davis asked me about when Franco's going to be with us, Franco Mostert and Jacko Creel. Well, Franco will be with us the first week of October after the Rugby Championship, and Jacko will be with us. We've got no time scale on it at the minute. We're not rushing him back, but hopefully sooner rather than later. So hopefully that's got to the questions that we've got asked earlier.
And just a couple of points for me finally is wait for the players to come back out, Stephen. I guess when you're introducing people who've been playing throughout our summer period, they've got to be managed by the coaching staff. They've got to have a break. Like Franco Mostart's played a lot of rugby.
Absolutely. I mean, it's even the likes of the guys that went away for international duty, even if they didn't play much, they're doing a lot of training all of the time as well. So yeah, you've got to do that. You've got to get them in. Some players, will take to things a bit quicker than other players. That's just human nature. But yes, we'll manage everybody individually and only bring them in when we need to.
And what would your final message be as we approach the start of the Gallagher Premiership season to Gloucester supporters who may be watching tonight here on Gloucester Rugby Television? What would your message be to them?
I think my message is, look, we've been through some interesting times over the last few years. I think that we've got the Champions Cup this year, Munster, Exeter and Cast, some massive games. We've invested a fortune in pitches and apps and Wi-Fi and the whole kind of experience at the stadium. We've got a settled group of coaches. We've only had 7 or 8 ins and outs this year with regards to players coming in and out, so I think we're in a great place. I would ask that they just keep the faith. They're already doing that in terms of how many people have bought memberships. Get in early. I think we're going to have a lot more sellouts this year than we've ever had before. But get behind the team through thick and thin this year, and let's hope that this year can be something special.
Great to see you, Stephen.
Cheers,
Thanks
Andy.
for joining us, and enjoy the second half of this evening. Look forward to seeing you throughout the forthcoming season.
Thanks.
Thank you. Stephen Bourne there, Gloucester's Chief Executive, making his way down from this high gantry position. All the squads who weren't involved in the first half action are out on the pitch, and Paddy McAllister and Tom Marshall will be coming back over to pick up this rather fetching orange microphone. We were talking earlier about replacements, using the whole range of players available to both sides. You'll have to help me out, guys. I'm sure we're going to get a flood of players coming on shortly from these two squads, and keeping up with it will be quite difficult, as it was the case at Ravenhill, the Kingspan Stadium last weekend, when Gloucester seemed to bring on a whole posse of players about 10 minutes into the second half, Paddy.
Yeah, it looks like right now on the pitch there's a lot of bench players warming up, so I won't see them. Can't see them making changes all of a sudden, but as I said earlier, maybe a couple. Looks like Lewis Ludlow now is leading the team out, I'm sure he'll be captain. There's Franco Marea in the second row, or in at hooker there. We've got Gigi Grobler.
Right.
We've got Mark Atkinson there playing. Owen Williams is now on. Callum Braley's on as well. So yeah, there's about 4 changes.
Yeah.
See Mark Atkinson's boots, very, very, very bright and orange. So expecting big things from him.
So Lewis Ludlow has taken over the captain's armband.
It looks like that, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Owen Williams on for Danny Cipriani. We've got Mark Atkins on at centre for Henry Trinder.
No, Henry. Yep, Henry's off. He's done his work.
So who will play 13? Who will play 12? Would it be 12 to stay at 12?
I think they might shift Mark into 12, but we'll find out soon.
Second half then underway. And we'll confirm his other changes as the half progresses. And it's Jason Woodward who's still out there for Gloucester with the ball in hand. Tidy offload to support on his shoulder. Here's Braley. And Gloucester get an early penalty. Is Tom Marshall surprised?
Oh, I thought he got himself in a good position, but ref is just saying in the side there, so that's fair enough. We're lucky to go away with that one.
Yeah. We've got players without numbers on their backs, but we'll use our knowledge of them. We recognise Mark Atkinson there.
Oh, it looks like Ollie Thorley's had his banana at half time. He's made a good strong run there.
So Franco Murray on at hooker. One of the new joiners to the club from the Natal Sharks. Who else you spotted out then? Anyway, who else we've missed?
We call him Gigi Grobler. I think his first name is a bit tricky.
He said to me in Afrikaans, it's Gerbrand Grobler.
Yeah, you can keep saying that.
Here's Braley. Braley, quick hands
That's a great line.
Atkinson. A lovely line by Brady. 12 trees in field.
Great clear
Just
out.
held up. No chance for Gloucester through Murray. Braley. Ludlow there as well. Braley again to this near side. Gloucester with a sharp start to this second period. Advantage being played their way by Tom Foley. Shane White's in front of the post. 12 trees again.
That's
big
a great
collision
line.
there. Big tackle from Lewis Evans. And Brady almost through. And Gloucester finish the job off so close to the line. They're claiming the try. They're over the line. And that is Gloucester's 4th try. That was purposeful. That was intense from Gloucester.
Looks like the new boy, Franco Marias, the hooker, all the way over from Natal Sharks with a great intuition there to the line.
In the cool of an English evening, the man is used to humid evenings in Natal, gets the touchdown. Gloucester's 4th try of the evening. They extend their lead to 26 points to 12. Good spot from Paddy McAllister, part of bodies. He's a pretty mobile guy, Paddy. Franco Murray.
Yeah, actually, he played I think he only played about 30 minutes last week in Belfast against Ulster. And I've a lot of old friends there, and they said to me after the game, wow, who was that guy? He hits like a train.
Yeah.
So he's made his impression last week, and obviously Matu, who's left us last year, he was a great player with a big punch in him.
Yeah.
And I think Franco's going to give a lot of competition for James Hansen for that shirt.
That's what you want, strengthening depth. That's what we've got here at Kingsholm this season. And Billy 12 trees, I won't say any more as he sizes up this kick. Tom Marshall has a confident smile on his face. Sun setting at Kingsholm. Tints of red to the west as the sun goes down. And he's missed it. He snatched that one. He snatched that kick and he's hooked it. And a groan of disappointment and surprise goes around the ground. Yes. A bit too easy maybe, Tom.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that one. I don't think we'll see that again for the rest of the day, but hey, we won't commentate on that.
Restart made. 26-12 it is. Here we go again to Ackerman. Braley's 12 trees. An extravagant pass out wide, but that's a pass of some vision. And here's Jason Woodward with Banhan on his shoulder. Puts the ball back to Banhan. Nice interplay to Atkinson. Atkinson well tackled by the fringing flanker Aaron Wainwright on his own 10-metre line, close to the shed side. Braley works that blind side. Quick hands from Woodward. Cricketer's hands from Bannerhan. And footballer's feet almost from Atkinson. But infield it comes. What can Dragons do from this position? Lovely live running again from Jordan Williams. Had a great game here at Kingsholm, but he's brought to ground by a fine tackle from Ruin Ackerman, who seems to be everywhere at the moment, and again in turn he uses one-handed offload support from Thorley. Braley. Williams sees half a gap, but flattened by Liam Brown. Braley again to this near side. Slower ball. On for Dragons is Tavis Nord. Of course, he played some rugby here. Scrum half for Gloucester. Now to Ben Morgan. Holds his pass back. Atkinson a bit of space. Braley a wide ball out again. Can the offload be made? It can indeed be made. And a chance for Gloucester again. Kick chase through. Can the ball bounce kindly for the chair rights? It does bounce kindly. What can Gloucester construct from here? Woodward still going. 7 metres out he's held up. Ludlow's there. Braley's there. Sees a gap. Goes on his own. Almost through is Gloucester's replacement scrum half. Support is there within the metre of the line, and they are over the line, and that is Gloucester's 5th try. Paddy McAllister, who scored that?
That was Gigi. That was our other South African. No, it actually wasn't. I apologise. That was our big tall friend Mariano Galarza. Yeah,
he's claiming it. So Mariano Galarza, get back Gloucester's partner in crime in the second row, leading the pack. You said.
Yeah, that was a great play. The last 3 minutes from both teams. Some great, exciting rugby. That pass from Billy Twelvetrees to kick it all off, I think, made up for that missed kick. But it was a brilliant pass to kick things off and end-to-end stuff with the tallest man on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
As he says he is. Goes down real low and scores that try.
Jews, I suspect that Dragons will make a number of changes now. They've got to do something to respond here, Tom. They made the odd one.
Yeah, I think so. You can see it going one way from here, so hopefully Dragons will empty their bench and give us a little bit stiff defensive line.
Be good to see Gavin Henson out.
Yes, it would be. So see how he's going at his ripe age.
Yeah. So 12 trees. Can he atone for that miss kick?
Yeah, you should definitely get this.
Here he comes in. It's a confident strike. That little skip was there, wasn't it, after he made contact? That wasn't quite there, the previous conversion. That is slotted. Gloucester extend their lead 33 points to 12. And I'm just looking towards that Dragons replacement bench. What will Bernard Jackman do? Nothing more as yet on that bench. Ackerman again fielding the ball. Just get that shoulder low into the tackle. Keeps it in play. Murray goes to ground. Brayley wants a guard. He's got it there from Josh Hunnock with support. Well, that's good work again from Williams. He saw the approaching Thorley, but finally he's bundled into touch.
That was great defence there from Ruan Ackerman. Just allowing Ollie Thorley to really put pressure on the guy catching the ball, and if by chance if he slips away from Ollie, Ruan's there just to clean up the mess and gives us a good outcome there with the line out on our 10 metre line.
He looks in great condition, Ruan Ackerman. He played an awful lot of rugby last season, didn't he? He almost seemed to come straight in rugby here from South Africa.
Yeah, he certainly hasn't got any smaller over in the off season, so he's chucking his weight around there tonight.
Yeah, he looks full of it. And Ben Morgan and sweet offload to Owen Williams, and here's Thorley again to Ludlow. To Woodward. Was that forward? The referee says no play on. Gloucester continuing to impress here on Gloucester Rugby Television as Williams holds it again, holds the pass up to 12 Trees. It's a nice job, and suddenly Atkinson finds acres of space. Brayley is there, gets his ball, and well, I'm surprised at that call. I'm not sure, but the referee was on the spot.
That was great vision. Mark Atkinson cleaning up some sloppy play, just sees the gap. I say 2 years ago we probably would have made it to the try line there, yes. But his age is catching up on him.
Yes, he comes back wearing those fluorescent boots. He's slightly disappointed. But it's been a very positive start to the second half, Tom.
No, it has. I think you've seen the positive influence the bench has made since they've come on. Cole Brayley's added a little bit of speed to the breakdown, and likewise with Mark Atkinson in the midfield. So it's good to see some positive impact off the bench.
Absolutely. The referee's not happy. Dragons went early again, Paddy.
Yeah, again, it's been a bit scrappy in the scrums there, but you see Cal Briley taps again.
Yeah.
He's really showed us what Tom said. Picked up the pace here, spotting those gaps around the edges of those rucks and making life a lot easier for the forwards.
Offload almost came, it didn't quite work for Gigi. A chance to dismiss. They're trying to get Williams into the game all the time. Not yet though, because that's second back. Tyler Morgan wrapped up, supported by David Howells. Noyle to his forwards. Tavis Noyle again through the hands, and now he's on Gavin Henson, and the ball going out wide, and Twelvetrees is ever finds. He never stops working, Billy Twelvetrees. But the ball picked up and driven forward further by Dragons. Hint of a knock on there, surely in contact. Indeed there was, says referee Tom Foley.
Yeah, some great defence from Gloucester, working hard side to side across the pitch. Boys chasing up the line, a lot of communication. It's exactly what we want.
Yeah. Henson slotted in at 10, is he?
Yep, Gavin Henson's on.
First playing 12, doesn't he? He can do a job there at 10. 36 years old now, is he?
Yeah, I think he's been around the block long enough to know what he's doing it in the first 5 position there.
Wearing unspectacularly white boots this evening, not the usual colour coding you can get.
I miss those golden boots. You remember those golden boots you wore in those Six Nations?
They were extravagant, weren't they?
Yeah, they were special.
Yeah. On for Josh Lewis. Of course, he has been out for some time with an injury as well, Gavin Henson, so working his way back himself. Charlie Sharples down beneath us coming on. And one of the Gloucester players here as they try and work it in close quarters. Morgan again. Seen a lot of the ball this evening here at King's Home. Gloucester leading 33-12 to remind you, with 12 minutes the second half played, and Owen Williams trying to find a bit of space there. Atkinson again, little grubber through, wants to be chased by Woodward, and Branahan's there too on that far side, but referee spotted indiscretion. What was that for?
I could not tell you, actually.
No, I missed that. I couldn't see either. Paddy, what do you make of it?
No, it was offside.
Was it?
It was offside, yeah.
Very confident. So to remind you, next up for Gloucester, the start of the Gallagher Premiership season on Saturday week. Northampton Saints, the visitors, and tickets still available. Here are those changes. On comes Lloyd Evans for Gloucester, Henry Purdy, Charlie Sharples, and Tom Hudson. Correct, gentlemen?
Yep, we've got Lloyd Evans coming on, which pushes Owen Williams over to 13. So Billy Tweltrees is off. We've got Henry Purdy on for Ollie Thorley, Matt Banahan off, Charlie Sharples, and Jason Woodward off for Tom Hudson.
Yeah.
So a lot of youth on the pitch now.
I think we nailed that between us.
Yeah. It's good to see Lloyd Evans out there.
He was out for a long time.
Unlucky season last year. He's a very silky player. Could have played for England in cricket. Chose to go the rugby path. He's a very silky, smooth player, and hopefully tonight he can show the crowd what he's made of.
He's one of these people who are irritatingly good at all sports.
And he's a good-looking fellow, which doesn't.
Probably makes great souffles as well. So visitors making changes too. Brock Harris onto the front row, but watch the action over in that 22 and the drive for Gloucester. At the moment, Dragons finding it hard to resist, and Paddy McAllister will be joining us. Gloucester swing it round. Has to be another try, surely. Oh, they splintered it. But they're going to get a penalty try. Penalty try. Tom Foley in no doubt. One for the efforts of the pack, Paddy. No,
that was great. That was a great initial line out. Great calling again from Mariano Galarza. Knowing where the space is in the line out, attacking that, using it well, and get just rewards. Penalty try.
And there had to be a clear offence there, because there was so much momentum to that drive, so much purpose for it, Tom. There had to be a clear infringement to interrupt it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't exactly know what's going on in the back of them all, but it looked pretty obvious that they were pulling that one down, so fair enough.
More changes for Gloucester. Kieran Knight on, Ben Morgan off. Who else is?
Yeah, so we got couple young props. Alex Seville, Kieran Knight on.
Yep.
Josh Honock and Fraser Almain done their hard yards. We've got Jake Pelledri on for Ruan Ackerman, and it looks like Will Safe is on for Ben Morgan. So a lot of young fresh faces again.
That is Todd Gleave's not on yet. And Ben Velicott. So I think those might be the remaining numbers still in their tracksuits, and here's a chance for space. This is Chris from Gloucester. Back it goes. A chance for Evans, who suddenly saw a gap, but just a tad forward was the pass. And who's that looking very disappointed? Is that Tom Gurban Grobler maybe looking disappointed there? That was so promising, so promising. 40 points to 12, Gloucester's lead.
This is a big scrum here for a couple of young boys, a couple of young props, Kieran and Alex. They did very well last week against Ulster. A lot of promise to them off the back of that 20s championship in the summer, so let's hope there's a couple of experienced boys in that Dragons team. Let's hope for a nice solid scrum, ease their way into it, and these boys are the future of Gloucester the next 15 years.
That's what you want though, isn't it? A blend of experienced players, some coming from outside, and also a good strong academy developing players too, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. I think our academy's done good things in the last few years. We've got some great players coming through, and it's good to see them sticking with Gloucester and coming through the ranks now.
Scrum goes down. Referee not impressed. It will be done all over again.
That's Kieran Knight's up against. I think it's Brock Harris, is it, for the Dragons? He's an old, experienced boy. He'll try every trick of the trade against Kieran. Kieran's a nice, strong boy, so it'll be a nice learning night just for Kieran there.
Kieran Knight's no little slimline guy. Is he
20
stone?
He's about 20 stone, about 6'3", so he's a big boy.
Yeah,
I think he's from Matson, is he? He's from Matson.
Matson
Clique, proud Matson man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Well-known name in those parts. Noel puts the ball into this Dragons scrum, which is solid. Evans back to his scrum half. To Henson. On the loop is Noel on that far side. But easily halted by Gloucester's defence. Infield it comes again to replacement Joe Davis in the scrum cap. Noel again to Henson. That looked forward
pass,
and it was forward to Brandon Nansen, says the referee. All rather obvious, and lacking a bit of zip there. Not a lot of pace in that passage of play from Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, if the ref missed the forward pass, I'm sure the shed would let him know that it happened. But no, there's a few substitutions coming on now, and I think that's a good time.
Yeah, Dragons had to do. They might as well empty their bench. They brought them all here. It's not very far to come after all, and why not use them all? But it can't help the fluidity of the team, though. It takes a while, doesn't it? People train together, but on the pitch it takes a few minutes.
As I say, you can train as much as you want, but match experience and match fitness is the key to it. So the amount of minutes these guys get is crucial. I'm just worried about these scrums. There's a lot of scrums. This pitch is hopefully holding up. Looks in the corner there. Hopefully it's not cutting up or anything out there, but it's going to be a good test for it.
Yep. Scrimmaging will test that. That's Paddy McAllister with Tom Marshall joining me, Andrew Pugh here on Gloucester Rugby Television. They popped up in the front row. Gloucester under pressure then. They've been pinged.
That's unlucky. I reckon the ref probably should have reset that.
Hello, what's going
Young
on
Alex
here?
Seville's not too happy either.
No. Meanwhile, play continues. That's a powerful looking drive by Brandon Nenson onto Gloucester's 22, onto the near side to Lloyd Fairbrother, who's on the front row for the Dragons. Noyle to this near side to a man wearing no number, who burrows his way forward a couple of metres. Noyle to Brock Harris. Noyle again to Henson. Henson holds his pass up. Danger for Gloucester here. There's a burst of acceleration from Tien Lutz. He's doing
great defence from Jake
That's a big
Pelledri,
tackle coming in. That from Jake Pelledri, I think.
Yeah, it was, the Italian stallion.
Goodness me, impressed in Ulster last weekend.
Oh, yeah, he was. He's a wrecking ball. It's last year. You can't really write that stuff. An incredible year for him, breakthrough year, and ended with a tour for Italy.
Yeah. It's an arm wrestle.
That's
and
great
Gloucester win
defence
it.
again, yep.
And the Shed enjoyed that. Bit of old-fashioned rugby there on that far side. So Lloyd Evans to drive Gloucester forward. Locally educated boy, of course, Lloyd, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a local boy, isn't he?
Yeah,
Dean
Close,
Close, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, his dad heavily involved in rugby in these parts and in the west of Wales too. And chance for Gloucester to construct something on that Dragons 10-metre line, leading 40 points to 12 as they edge our way into the final quarter of this final warm-up game. Williams. Oh, that's neat as Evans on the loop round. Gloucester driven back, conceded a couple of metres there. Scrum off is played by Pelledri. Will play by Callum Brayley this time. Says his options. Evans holds his pass up. Brayley again. That's a big carry forward over the halfway line.
There's a great carry from Grobler.
Yeah.
Now to Freddie Clark with a great tip to Kieran Knight.
Yeah, he's 6'6" plus, isn't he? Grobler.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. Evans again.
Oh, there's one. There's his first bump for the season.
Yeah. Big physical contact there as the ball comes back to Atkinson. To Purdy, he slips his man beautifully. This is good from Purdy. Sharp was on his shoulder.
Great
He can't
run
quite
from Henry Purdy.
get the offload, but that was sweet.
Bit of an oily geezer, that boy.
Yes. Atkinson to support him with his strength is Alex Seville. Now it goes back again to Evans. The ball held up to Atkinson again. Quick handsome Hudson doesn't quite find Gareth Evans. Is that on the far side?
Gareth Evans is on, yep.
Yeah. Fringing on the wing like a good back row forward, Tom.
Yeah, no, it's good. I've been impressed with the substitutions that have come on. I think Lloyd Evans at 10's running the game really well, and there's a lot of energy. And you see Henry Purdy with his first touch of the game, I think, looking explosive. So it's a sign of good things to come.
Yeah, him and Lloyd Evans had such a lot of time out last season, Henry Purdy.
Yeah, exactly. I think Henry's first game back from injury was last week, so obviously it's tough to get back into running rugby, but he's definitely looking sharp, which is promising signs.
Let's see what pressure Gloucester can apply here. Will they compete on this line-out? They do. They went up to Grobler, I think. Dragons will have possession.
It's a great drop from Alex Seville there.
Sometimes ignore that, the importance of that work, Paddy.
Yeah, stops them dead.
Noyle to this near side. Dragons trying to work their way into Gloucester territory. Nick Cudd. Noyle again.
Great tackle from Gareth Evans
so
off the
quickly
line.
Then.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to improve a point here.
Henson. On the run round, on the loop round is Tien Lutz. Tien Lutz, born in Cape Town, playing for the Dragons now. Noyle again to Henson. They're going back though under the pressure of that Gloucester defence. They're trying to work opportunities out wide, our Dragons. It's a big collision with Henry Purdy. It's hard work, isn't it, for the visitors?
Yeah, it's great defence. Gloucester really putting the pressure on. Probably not surprised if Dragons put the ball up in the air soon, because they're not getting anywhere right now. And then here we go. Nope.
Work at the blind side and finding a bit of space suddenly, and that's neat
It's
work
great
from
play.
Dragons. They're over the halfway line. Newell's in support. Will Norton get the pass? Now we'll come to this near side. He goes to Daffyd Howells, and Daffyd Howells uses all his international experience to slip the tackle, and we'll get a touchdown for Dragons, and that gets a sympathetic round of applause from the crowd, Tom.
Yeah, no, that's good rugby. It's pleasing to see. As Paddy said, like most teams would have probably looked to relieve pressure there, chuck the ball up, but they backed themselves. They found a little bit of space down the blind side, and it was a well-taken try in the end.
So we were thinking they might have kicked it. They didn't. They backed themselves.
No, exactly, and that's good to see. It was good reward for hard work.
So Daffyd Howells' try means it's 40-17 to the Cherry Whites. Brings a bit more interest in the game. Ben Veddicott's come on for Callum Brayley. Is he carrying a bit of a knock there?
No, let's hope he's all right. Callan, I think he's come on. He's done a fantastic job. Really sped the game up. Maybe he's going to get wrapped up in cotton wool a wee bit for next week, but we all know Benny Veddicott, when he comes on, he brings that added spice to the game. So let's see what happens.
He could be lively, can't he? And Veddicott. It's an interesting replacement. The crowd, a bit of a hum going round. People will be asking about that, but there were 3 scrum halves in this squad. Specialist position. I always think of hooker and scrum half being possibly the 2 most specialist positions, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. It's always tough when you got 3 in the squad to try giving them enough game time. So looks like they had the plan of giving them potentially 40 and 20 and 20. So that looks to be the case.
Fine conversion from Gavin Henson there, just effortless. 40 points to 19 it is there with Henson's conversion. And 16 minutes 53 seconds remaining here at Kingstone. The crowd want a response from Gloucester. The kick is into the 22 and Noel himself gives it a big hoof down the park. That's a decent touch finder. So what do you want to see from Gloucester now, Tom?
Great kick. I was just saying, great kick. Admiring that kick. Sorry. I think obviously get back into the game. The boys are looking good. I think they had a plan to raise the tempo of the game. The boys have been training really hard in the pre-season, so we know that we're fit. So I think if we can just keep a little bit more accurate and hold that ball, and I think it'd be nice to see us finish off with a few more tries.
Yeah. Chance here, and Veddicott uses those dancing feet to evade a couple of tackles really well, but then under the pressure defensively spills it forward. So
He can dance all he wants, but when those forwards get hands on him, he'll drop the ball like that.
To Henson. Dragons will be encouraged by that try, and Howells tries to slip the tackle. Henry Purdy, no change there from Gloucester's winger. Field it goes again, and number 2 shirt's been swapped around, now being worn by Elliot D. Crossfield kicks the space there, it's being exploited well, and Gloucester just about get away with that. Charlie Sharples rising high.
Yep, Charlie Shaw. That was a great kick there from Gavin Henson. Saw the space.
He saw the space, didn't he? A bit
Yeah,
like
he did.
Cipriani does.
Yeah, no, he's got great vision. You expect that from someone of that experience and that quality.
Yeah, time on the ball, despite the ageing legs.
Yeah, exactly. He just managed to give himself time, sit in the pocket and take the right option. And he certainly looked good as he's come on.
Yeah. Read in a rugby newspaper that he thinks he can play until he's 40, Paddy.
I reckon he probably could. Yeah, he's going well.
Yeah.
He's going well. I wish he's 30. What is he? 36. 36 now. Jeez, I reckon I'll be in a wheelchair in 36.
There speaks the forward. There was a Welsh fly half called Paul Turner who's still coaching, I think, in Bedfordshire. He was one of those similar sort of mercurial fly halves, and he could do wonderful things to the ball even in his mid-30s. Just having that time and ability to see space. And he's very much like that, Henson, as is our own Danny Cipriani here. Break in play. It's getting chilly. It feels slightly autumnal. Yeah, makes you feel rugby is coming back soon. Yeah, competitive rugby. Yeah.
It's a bit of an exciting backline we've got right now.
Yeah.
With a few people, Owen Williams at 12. I know we played 12, started at 12 for Wales against the All Blacks in the Springboks last November. So it'll be good to see how he goes with Mark Allen.
Yeah, I think he might have played a bit of rugby there for the Tigers as well, but it's a good crash ball carry by Tian Lutz. But again, Gloucester's defence looking very good. Was that forward? No, the referee says not, as Brock Harris makes a couple of metres. Now to the near side to Nick Cudd. Noyle working his numbers. Henson again, that held up pass to a man with no number. And then Gloucester infringe. They certainly rallied with some enthusiasm, Dragons, since scoring that try, Tom Marshall.
Yeah, I've certainly been impressed with the substitutions that have come on. They seem to add a little bit of energy at the right time, and it's amazing what a try can do for the morale, and they're certainly playing with their heads up at the moment.
And they've got an opportunity to construct something here from a line about 6 metres out from the line, Paddy.
Yeah, it's going to be a big maul defence time for us, lads. There's no pressure on them there. We're all in position. So it's good at the moment. They're getting a bit of momentum now. Kieran Knight's coming in the side. Jake Pelledri on the far side's about to come in just to stop that angle coming.
Yeah.
Hopefully the ref's just going to call it out to use it soon. But we need to dig deep in here. We need to get stuck in.
What will Noyle do? Noyle will send it out. He has support, and a try is claimed by Tian Lutz, who's certainly had an impact on this game. Lutz, the South African, since he's come on. 40 points to 24 it is, and again pressure told, and Lutz has impressed me.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot on there, to be honest. Gloucester did well to sack that maul short before the line, and it was a big strong carry and managed to get between two of our defenders and barge his way over the line.
Yes, you don't get any lightweight South African centres, do you, generally?
No, exactly.
Just New Zealand ones, yeah.
So the crowd will definitely want a response now from Gloucester. This margin is narrowing, isn't it? I mean, it was 35 points to 12, 33 points to 12, and now it's 40 points to 24 with Lutz's try. And inevitably, Garen Henson's conversion. And with 11 minutes 50 seconds remaining, it's 40 points to 26. And Bernard Jackman, we're very happy with this situation now, this revival, Paddy.
Yeah, we just need to get the ball back here from this restart as quick as we can, and implement what our coaches have been doing all summer. Tony Taylor has been really working hard all summer with our backs and us, as well as our forwards in attack play. So let's hopefully we can show what he's taught us.
Good effort there from Gareth Evans at the restart, but they're going to give it a go again from the 22 Dragons. It's good to watch. That's an excellent tackle on this near side from Gloucester. Man side to ground. That Grobler again. Noyle will again work this blind side. Have this sort of an opportunity down this near channel again. Dragons. This time Gloucester through Lloyd Evans with support, holding up some momentum there for the visitors, but they've recycled it well. Henson. Wide ball out again. Charlie Sharp needs to get across to his wing, and he does so brilliantly with an excellent tackle. And the crowd in the shed enjoyed that moment. And it was an important tackle to make, Tom.
Yeah, it was. Last line of defence, he would have been scooting away then. But I must say I am enjoying the Dragons change their mindset. I think early in the first half you would have seen them kick that ball out off that kickoff, but they've certainly looking to play a little bit more, and they're getting some good space out wide.
Shed getting a bit excited over there, Paddy, at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They just saw Charlie Sharp was like a great tackle and then got up off his feet, made a great counter ruck and forced a knock on from the Dragons. So you can't ask much more from a winger from that.
Yeah, I think a bit of after taking place.
Yeah, here's Todd Gleave coming on, making his first home appearance. Franco Marias come on. Yeah, made a great performance last week and this week. So welcome to the Cherry and Whites, Franco and Todd. Yeah,
so we've had all three scrum halves involved and all three hookers involved now.
Yeah, Todd won't be happy with that line out there. I think the Dragons started very well, whether it's the call or the throw. We
Henson,
don't know.
A big hoof for that right boot. Previously taken by Tom Hudson. Hudson looked good last weekend in Belfast. Now, infield it goes from young Bellicott to support. Ball being recycled to this near side, out wide. Nice interplay from Gloucester, just the precision lacking. And Dragons will have it into the last 10 minutes of the game, with Gloucester leading 40 points to 26 here at Kingsholm on Gloucester Rugby Television, and the visitors giving it a go again. The referee's arm out high. Was that high?
Yeah, that's one of those new rules coming in for a high tackle, where a lot of players would say he's ducked in for that. But letter of the law, it's a seatbelt tackle, so unfortunately it's a penalty to the Dragons.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Particularly the different stature of players in particular.
Yeah, it's always going to be a tough one, but you can't argue with the concussion stats. There's too many in the game at the moment, so they have to try and change that somehow. So, I have sympathy for the players, but I mean that's just the way it is. Got to tackle a little bit lower.
And Dragons again. They'll be encouraged. They have a good position here on Gloucester's 22. The ball secured by Joe Davis. Red scum cap prominent, and Gloucester really working hard out there. Who's putting himself
That's
about?
away from Freddie Clark, just getting right in the middle of that.
And causing some disruption and giving Gloucester time and have the opportunity to turn over business. They haven't, but they just hold to some of that momentum. There's a man without a shirt now, without a number and without a shirt too, has the ball. A show and go from the Dragons. No change there. Noyle on this near side finds Brock Harris. Noyle again. Was that forward? It wasn't, but then it's knocked on by Joe Davis in turn, and a sigh of relief and a cheer from those in the shed as Gavin Henson hacks it on.
There's a poor lad there. That's a prop's worst nightmare, losing his shirt. He's just lucky it's not live on TV. That's all I'm saying.
But we are.
He's getting a few cheers from the crowd. He can't get that shirt on quick enough.
Yeah, 7 minutes 45 seconds remaining. Score in the second half. Well, Gloucester went in 21-12 up, so now Gloucester have added 25 points and they've added 14. I beg your pardon, Gloucester added 19. Yeah, I was terrible at maths at school.
It's a big scrum here for Gloucester. Obviously the last one came to a penalty to Dragons, so it's a big one for the young kids to try and settle the scrum to give a good platform now for the backs.
Yeah, options both ways for the Gloucester scrum half here.
That's a great scrum from Alex Seville.
Caused some pressure. They've gone down. It will be played. Now what can Gareth Evans do from here? He's made a couple of tackles.
That's just unfortunate.
Just tries to force the pass there a bit.
It's one of those where he makes it to try. When he doesn't, it's a little bit of a bad decision.
Bellicott to the rescue. Would it be fair to say that the Dragons' replacements have had a bit more impact than Gloucester's have at this stage, Tom?
Yeah, I think so at this stage. It does make me wonder whether the Dragons starting 15 had a few of them were on the bench potentially. I'm not too sure, but they've certainly, as of late, had the edge over the Gloucester side, haven't they?
Indeed. Touch is found just on that far side. It will be Dragons' ball at the line-out. 6 minutes remaining. 40 points to 26. And I guess you wanted a competitive run-out in a game like this, Paddy, and Gloucester are getting one now.
Yeah, I think this game ticks a lot of boxes for what both teams probably wanted. There's always going to be mistakes, all those things that need to work on before next week, but there's been some great rugby from both teams, some great positional play. Both teams as well aren't going to give too much away before next week because obviously you're going to keep things up your sleeve. But no, I reckon both coaches will be happy enough. Just hopefully no one gets injured, and and both teams come out of here with a clean bill of health.
Yeah, Dragons still trying to give it some width out there, which is good to see. But Gloucester's defence solid at the moment. Here we go again to prop Brock Harris, size to ground. Henson, that delayed pass, now floated ball out wide. And
a great play from Dragons there on the edge, trying to gain some yards.
And they still retain possession. Henson always looking for the chance. Finds support out wide from Tian Lutz. Tries score. Now Dragons through the hands again. That's sweet work. And back it will go, but doesn't find Nick Cudd. It's turnover ball for Gloucester, and Tom Hudson has it. Now to Gareth Evans, who in the tackle knocks it on. So it's turnover again. Nobody wants the ball at the moment. Men in no numbers on their shirts have it, and they're into Gloucester's 22 again on this near side. Noyle, nice slip pass to flanker Hugh Taylor, but Gloucester have the measure of them and turned it over on the ground through the efforts of Henry Purdy, I think.
I just think we need to calm things down at the moment, just be a bit more direct, just with our carries, just carry a few more times, just get the ball playing, try and cut out these silly errors, these silly offloads, and just build momentum our way that way, not trying to score off first phase.
Yes, Gloucester not playing the game where they want to be at the moment, Tom. But need to look after it all the same.
No, It's just, lovely little kick
a
out
great
to the edge
decision.
here.
Well, there's a chance here for Gloucester. There's a foot race now into the Dragons' half. Tom Hudson is up there. Sharples too. But they've gone to ground, and who's going to come out with the ball? I think it's going to be Dragons, because Tavis Noel has that sort of body language over there. And slow ball to Brock Harris. He takes it and flops to ground, Paddy.
Most props do.
Noel again.
It's been a very long passage of play. You've seen the ball turn over a number of times, so the players must be off their feet.
Almost like Southern Hemisphere rugby, Tom.
Yeah.
Now, can Gloucester get time on the ball? Can they turn over possession? No, they can't. The referee's not happy. And frustrated Freddie Clark hits the ground with his fist. Henson plays scrum half athletically for a man of 36 years old. Dragons have it. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. It's 40 points to 26 in Gloucester's favour. Henson suddenly everywhere. There's a Dragons player down injured. That's Tavis Noel taking a knock, hobbling back. So scrum half will have to be played by Joe Davis. He makes a hash of it like a forward playing at 9. And ultimately results in a Gloucester scrum. All a bit scrappy at times, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good chance for a few of the big boys to take a few deep breaths, get our composure back, and try to find a way to get back into the game. It's just been a little bit messy, and I'm sure the boys will want to finish off on a good note.
Not an untypical pre-season game in some respects. That messiness, that lack of communication at time, and the use of so many players, Paddy.
No, I mean, you're right there. I mean, usually it's a bit scrappy at the very beginning of a pre-season game, and then teams kind of build into it. It just seems at the moment where I think boys who've come off the bench want to do as much as they can to impress for next week, which is natural. We've got a big squad. There's a lot of people here that want to impress, and at the end of the day, you don't want to play a preseason game. You want to play in the first Prem game. So you can't fault the effort. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the application's there, and someone might just throw that wonder offload now and score the best try of the night.
Let's hope so. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Just where they're
8-9 right here.
yeah. Just wondering out there whether Owen Williams is carrying a bit of a knock. Anyway, Gloucester have a penalty. Quickly taken by Velicott to support. And it wasn't quite where Lloyd Evans was expecting that support to be there. But he's held on possession. Has he? No, it's been turned over that illegally, says the referee. And Gilbert Grogler looks frustrated. And Lloyd Evans will kick for position, presumably.
Yep, get that out on the 5. That's a lovely kick.
It's
a beauty kick there.
It's one of those heart-in-mouth moments, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly. I think as a fly half, you need to back yourself, and obviously high risk, but lovely execution by Lloyd then.
What's the call here then, Paddy?
Oh, we're going to maul it over and score. Todd Gleave, his old man, Big Gav Gleave, will be happy if he gets the end of
no, that was a clear communication breakdown.
Honestly, this commentating curse thing just keeps following me around.
That really was a commentator's curse.
Yeah. Shut up for the rest of the game.
Well, that just appeared to be a miscommunication there.
Yeah, it just seemed like probably the wrong call or timing or something went wrong.
Yeah, a groan from the crowd. But if Gloucester can just contain Dragons in this last minute inside their 22, perhaps turnover possession, they might profit in scoring the final points of the game, which would be useful psychologically. The men of Gwent working for it. No advantage, says the referee. Tom Foley. Matt will go to that far side. 40 points to 26. And Bernard Jackman will be pleased with this display from his side after they were so heavily beaten by Saints last time out, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, they've looked exceptionally good in parts of the game today, so there's a lot of positives and obviously the few work-ons that they can take on to next week, much like Gloucester ourselves.
They found touch on that far side, a long way back for Gloucester to score, but they've got 30 seconds to do just that. Dragons want to get on with it, understandably. Was that straight? Hugh Taylor has it. Now into the Dragons midfield. Crash up. Williams is back on at scrum half. Looking lively, looking for space. No change there. Door shut tight from Gloucester defensively. Tackle from provided by Jake Pelledri with support. 4,349 of you currently listening, watching to us here on Gloucester Rugby Television. That's good to know. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage this evening as the Cherry and Whites try one last attempt to get some points on the board. What can they do? Here's Charlie Sharples. Velicott to Freddie Clark. Velicott again to Williams. Williams again, one of those miscommunications, doesn't quite work out. The ball knocked on. Advantage to Dragons. Williams to this near side to Nick Cudd. Now a little grubber through, one to be chased. Soccer skills being shown here. Gloucester need to show good pace and do just that to the Van Grobler, who is so mobile there, Paddy.
Yeah, he's an athlete, that boy.
Goodness me, the crowd enjoyed that
here's
moment.
Jake Pelledri having a little trot.
What can Gloucester do from here? Now here's a chance. Here's Velicott. Velicott needs support.
There he is, Gavin Henson,
there.
bringing back the years.
Oh. He's still going, but illegally, says the referee. Didn't release the ball. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Yeah, I think he would have been a bit lucky to get away with that one.
You have to let go of that ball, don't you, in the tackle situation. Play continues. Time was up on the clock. And Gavin Henson will give it one last two for that right boot, and again finds an excellent touch.
Oh, we've seen an absolute clinical display of line kicking here.
Yes.
So this is crucial now. This is what Johan likes to see. Pressure on us right now. Defending the small. Can we hold him out? Can we not? He'll be a very happy man if we can. He's an ex-forward himself, so this determines if we ever got a happy coach or an angry coach.
Yeah, D to throw. It's secured by Dragons. And they got some momentum here. Danger for Gloucester. You need to be alert, and still that pressure continues, Paddy.
Dragons have chucked in a couple of their backs.
And
One-on-one
down the near
tackle.
side comes Williams, the scrum half. He's back
unfortunate.
on the pitch. Caught Gloucester unawares. He was lively, and Rodri Williams on for Tavistock, back on for Tavistock. Scores what will be the final points of this game, the final try of this game anyway. It's 40-31 to Gloucester. And with Gavin Henson's debut to come, you wouldn't mind suggesting it's going to be 40-33, Paddy.
Yeah, the old man's got a lot left in his engine. He showed there, covering back tackle at Ben Velicott. So no doubt he'll probably get it. A disappointing end of the game for Gloucester, but a lot of boxes have been ticked. No injuries, which is the main thing. We lost Tom Savage last week against Ulster. His injury isn't as bad as expected, so he'll be back in the near future. So I think all boys there we can see are all giving each other high fives and stuff, and that's it. Pre-season done. Looking forward to next week. Yeah,
it's often said that games like this, whether you lose or you win narrowly, you learn more from games like that than you do from clear wins, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it's for. Give everyone a run, give everyone a hit out. Now it's up for the coaches to make the hard decisions and select the starting 15 for next weekend.
Goodness me, he's missed. Gavin Henson misses. The referee blows his final whistle. Gloucester 41, Dragons 31. Dragons scoring 5 tries in total. Gloucester 6 by my reckoning. Final thoughts from Paddy McAllister and then Tom Marshall. Gentlemen.
Yeah, I think it's been a great evening. Great, the fans have all been here. It's been great conditions. A lot of rugby been shown. Everyone's got a hit out, and I think it just shows this season is going to be very exciting and what we can offer.
And Tom?
Yep, no, it's a good start. So we'll look forward to building on towards the rest of the season, and it's good to see the pitch, Hank, hold out really nicely, and a good crowd for a pre-season fixture. So exciting times.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Gloucester Rugby Television, gentlemen. Look forward to seeing you back in action out on the pitch here at Kingsholm and elsewhere. Thank you for enjoying, we hope, our coverage here on Gloucester Rugby Television of this final pre-season fixture between the Charing Whites and Newport Gwent Dragons. And from a chilly-ish Kingsholm, for me, Andrew Pugh, it's a very good evening.